This is Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for September 19th, 2025. The Cambodia Securities Exchange Index was up 0.8 points or 0.2% and closed at 404.44. Total trade volume was up with 32,020 shares changing hands at a total value of 164 million real or over $40,000. On the main board, 5 stocks were up. Leading the market was Sihanoukville Autonomous Port up 1% or 120 real to 12,180 real per share, followed by Pestec Cambodia, which was up 0.76% or 20 real to 2,660 real per share. Other stocks also up were Grand Twins International, Royal Group Phnom Penh SEZ, and Acleda Bank. Only one stock was down on the other hand. Phnom Penh Autonomous Port dropped 0.15% or 20 real to 13,580 real per share, while the remaining 3 stocks on the main board stayed flat. Over on the growth board, JS Land was up 0.36% or 10 real to 2,770 real per share, while DBD Engineering stayed flat at 2,030 real per share. Acleda Bank recorded the highest trade volume of the day with 18,688 shares changing hands at a total value of 126.7 million real or over $30,000, approximately 58% of the total trade volume on Friday. MJQ Education recorded the second highest trade volume of the day with 4,982 shares changing hands at a total value of 9.8 million real or over $2,400, about 15% of the trade volume on September 19th. Moving on to the exchange rate, the Khmer Real to USD remained stable at 4,007 real per US dollar, while the US dollar index was up to 97.54. Looking at global commodities, oil prices fell on Friday as worries about fuel demand in the United States outweighed expectations that the year's first interest rate cut by the U.S. Federal Reserve would spur greater consumption. Brent crude futures were down 17 cents or 0.3% at $67.27 US dollars a barrel, and U.S. West Texas Intermediate futures were down 19 cents, also 0.3% at $63.38 US dollars. Gold prices edged higher, poised for a 5th consecutive weekly gain following the U.S. Federal Reserve's first rate cut of the year, while investors awaited further signs on the U.S. policy outlook. Spot gold was up 0.2% at $3,650.89 US dollars per ounce. Bullion is up 0.2% so far this week. U.S. gold futures for December delivery rose 0.1% to $3,683.40 US dollars. At the end of a week dominated by a highly charged U.S. Federal Reserve meeting, markets were stalling after a rate cut rally the previous session pushed the 3 main indices to record highs. Attention will now turn to U.S.-China trade talks and an expected phone call between President Donald Trump and his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping. As of the time of the Cambodian market's closing, stock futures tracking the Dow Jones Industrial Average were down 13 points or effectively flat. Those tied to the S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 were also stalling in early trading on Friday. All 3 finished at all-time highs in the previous session. This was Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for September 19th. Have a great Chumben holiday.